Welcome, everybody, to the Boycott Everything podcast. Brought to you by CGN.US, The Drastic Measure, and The Breaking Company. If you guys are you guys are watching us on the YouTube channel. I don't know why I say if, but make sure to subscribe, comment, like, share, all that fun stuff. Find all of our social media stuff down in the description. And you can also find us on RedTube.
Haven't we already done RedTube?
I've ran out of ideas, Rev.
Maybe that's something I should have. Miss Joss, I'm sorry. We have a running joke on the podcast that basically we shout out some random porn site because we're literally gonna fuck something up in this podcast anyway, so it might as well be everywhere.
That is totally fine.
We should probably make that a warning to every guest.
Yeah, I completely forgot. I spaced on this one. I tell everybody. I don't know why I spaced on this one. This week is kind of special to me because one, it's got one of my favorite people on this entire earth in it, but more importantly, it's some things that I think should be shared and spoken of in more in depth than just random tweets on Twitter. So this week's episode is called The Black Experience on the Internet. And my guest is Mr. Von Von.
Yo.
Promote yourself, sir.
Oh, okay. So what's going on? All right.
Say hi. Tell us who you are. Do those things.
This is Von from Black Image Revolution, founder and community manager of said community. I'm here with Jocelyn as well.
Hi.
She's also part of the community as well. She's one of the founders, and she's been one of the vital team members I've been working with for many years. Am I right? It's been
3
years, as a matter of fact. Yeah, so we're just doing our thing, we just repping the community, and we're just putting ourselves out there in the gaming world. So yeah, we got a lot of things to talk about here.
Both of your Twitter feeds, if you have one, Ms. Joss, will be on the screen at all times, plus down in the description. But is there anything either one of you would like to promote today before we go into the conversation?
Josh, you can go first.
Well, I'm Joss, if that wasn't already obvious. Typically, what I like to do on social media is I like to create and provide safe Black games, whether it be through BGR, as Vaughn said, or through my Twitter or through my Twitch channel, which is Nirvana, spelled with an H. There you can find very entertaining and funny Black-friendly content about gaming, pretty much anything. There aren't really any not friendly topics of everything there, but overall the general message is, do you feel safe as a Black gamer? And that's what I strive to do.
Awesome.
And do you stream?
I do stream. I stream 3 days a week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, typically starting at around 7:30 p.m. Central Standard. I do a variety, but mostly RPGs, retro, and of course the Zelda.
And make sure, Vaughn, that we get both of y'all's Twitch information sent to me so we can put that down below.
No problem.
And you, sir, what would you like to say? Promote.
Oh, so pretty much my name is Devon. Again, community manager, Black Image Revolution. Along with Josh, we provide a safe space for Black gamers to make sure that they don't fear any, harassment or discrimination. Like, this is your bubble, this is your space. Feel free to talk. This is your time, We've been doing that for a couple years. I've also provide that same safe space through my personal Twitch channel, through my Discord as well, as well as Twitter and whatnot, through Ultramarines 40K, both on Twitch and Twitter. And also we do run a little Ultramarines chapters. Shout out to the Space Marines out there for those that are listening. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're all about. We're just trying to provide safe spaces because everyone just want to play games. That's really the bottom line of it all. Everybody just want to chill and play video games. We don't want to get political. We don't want to, have to spew some sort of disrespect or some hate towards one another. We just want to have a good time, chill out, vibe with some new people, some interesting folks, and just do what we love to do, and that is pretty much gaming. So yeah.
I have known you just at 3.5 years now, personally, and I've known of you for 3.5 years. I've known you for about 2, and I've noticed some things about you and all that. So it's one of these things that we're gonna start this off with a banger. Since
Okay.
November 9th, 2016,
Jesus.
has either one of you noticed an uptick in hateful behavior on Twitter, on Twitch, on any form of social media that you have that is alarming? Not because it's all disturbing, but I mean, is it alarming to the point of how brazen it seems to be now? And I will start with you, Miss Joss. The floor is yours. Oh.
Okay. I'm new to Black gaming social media. I helped Vaughn co-found BGR. That was kind of my entry point, which was in 2016. So as far as there being an uptick since then, I can't really give an educated opinion on that. But what I can say is, prior to that, I didn't really experience any type of racial hatred or anything because I just wasn't in that space. But since being in that space now, all I can speak about is what I have experienced, and I will say that it is definitely real. It's definitely out there. It's extremely prevalent on Twitch itself. Uh, I'm sure if any of you stream, you've probably experienced a similar thing. But just being yourself, being the color that you are, trying to provide a safe space. If you have anything, especially that says Black people are welcome or anything like that, a lot of people, like a lot of trolls, kind of zone in on that, and they feel like if you're creating a safe space for yourself, then you're automatically excluding everybody else. So I think that's where a lot of that racism comes in, because they feel like, well, like if I were to do that, it'd be racist. So
Yeah,
I
that's a
feel
fact.
it is, and I feel
It
like
is a fact.
for a long time it's kind of like, well, like if you want your own space, then create it. That's the sentiment behind it. And so when we actually do create those spaces, I feel like it's still a problem because, well, now you're not being inclusive enough. Right. So I kind of feel like it's a catch-22. So with BGR especially, I feel like we've caught a lot of flack just for trying to strive to do what we've been told to do since, being born brown. So with that being said, we've had to deal with a lot of people. Our first year at BGR, didn't we get like a really big raid of trolls, Vaughn? I feel like like in the Discord.
We had a few trolls, at least not in our Discord, but on Twitch. It was
on.
really
Okay,
Twitch.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I can actually answer that question as well as you can, Vaughn, because it was on both.
Right.
It was on both to the point where I'm technically one of the people that started the entire, hey, make a community that is safe for people here on the internet, and if people don't like it, tough shit. And
Right.
Vaughn met me through that. And when I got invited to the Discord, I went almost 2 months without being able to speak in Discord because of the trolls that was happening when I first joined. And
Yep.
and Devon didn't even know I couldn't talk. He thought I was just being quiet. I was just like, no,
Yeah,
man, I
why was
can't.
you talking?
I can't talk, bro. He's like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah. And he can tell you, I didn't complain. I didn't say anything. All I said was, it's uncomfortable knowing that I could do more. That's why I was more prevalent in the Twitch channel and was trying to help there, because my name on Twitch does have weight when it comes to that. Like, it's strange that the great big Native American has wording, but it is what it is. And like with Vaughn, my topic to you is the same, but at the same time, there's a slight caveat.
Right.
My caveat with you on this topic is, have you seen it die down at all since being involved more with some of the bigger groups on Twitch that does stand for each other?
Oh, has like all like the trolling and the hate comments like dwindled
Yeah.
down since then?
Yes.
I believe it's, if anything, if it's either, it hasn't really dwindled at all. And you have to understand that when it comes to the internet, there's a lot of power in being anonymous. Like you could be on Twitch, make an account, go to any channel, right? You could post hateful comments and everything, get banned. You can literally make another account and go back to that same channel and pull the same fuck shit. Like, sorry for my language, rinse, spit, repeat. So it hasn't dwindled at all, and no actions have taken place. Like we've seen it all the time with Twitch. We see it all the time on YouTube. That's why YouTube comments is like cancer at this point. You do not want to look at YouTube comments. People feel that because they're anonymous, they can get away with a lot of things, and they weaponize that to their advantage. So it's very hard to tackle something like that. Like, again, going back to Twitch, they'll ban the account, but they won't ban the IP address that's associated with that account. So you can make 10 more accounts, you can get banned in one, you still got 9 more to go. And I think that's really the issue. And then, not to mention that even as a streamer or as a content creator, if you do something sexist or racist or abusive or whatever, the punishment isn't consistent. I hear many stories that people will drop the end, a small streamer, I should say, will say some derogatory stuff and they'll get banned. But meanwhile, you got a big YouTuber, a big streamer that will do the same exact thing, if not relative to that, situation, and they'll get a slap in the wrist and a 48-hour ban on Twitch. It doesn't do anything. So to answer the question directly, no, I don't feel it's dwindled down. I feel we have a lot of work that needs to be done. And I think communities that provide safe spaces and whatnot is really actively trying to put themselves out there in the front lines and let, companies like Twitch and YouTube and Mixer know that, these you guys got to update your policies. Like, you guys got to dish out these punishments. You guys really have to try to give us better tools to handle situations like that, so these things can dwindle down. Like, incidents like this doesn't occur as much, but it's not the case. So we got a lot of work that needs to be done, for sure.
And Wooly, I'm actually going to bring this to you now.
Oh, great.
As the only white person in this conversation, because I have my own words and I'll put those in a minute. Do you think that Twitch, at any point in time since you've been on Twitch, since you've been around for at least 6 years, do you think that Twitch has made a effort to end this issue, or to at least, slow it down some?
I really can't say that I can. I mean, it's always like, you see all the Twitch fails, like, YouTube channels that pop up, and you see all the crap that happens on the site. I mean, everyone that drops, a derogatory slur, everyone that, throws a cat, or...
Right. Or we all know that.
Or, whatever happens, they do nothing to try to stop it. They do nothing to punish that behavior.
I'm sorry, Wooly. I set you up because I wanted to make sure that was brought up, because here's the issue that I have, and thank you, Wooly, for your honest answer. I have a problem with cherry picking what should and should not be banned on Twitch. And as a partnered Twitch streamer, I risk everything to say that Twitch, your service to help people is fucking trash in every fucking way. I've been doing this. I've been fighting this longer than anybody on Twitch. Racism and sexism and bigotry. And I mean that with my whole entire chest. I've been doing this longer than anybody. And it's now to a point where I'm fucking exhausted. because no matter what, you see every time Twitch sends out something about somebody being banned or the servers being down or something being wrong, the first like 20-30 comments is a bunch of neck breathing, mouth open assholes talking about some girl not being banned for throwing a cat, while my one of my best friends who looks at me like a father, Lolly, not even 2 weeks ago was spammed with the NIGGER word, and 14 accounts were made with that name in it. How is that name still? How? Explain to me. Somebody fucking explain to me how NIGGER is not a site-wide banned name. I don't mean just for in-chat channels. Banned, period. Oh, you can't explain it to me because you ain't gonna give me the right answer. That's the fucking truth. And I have a problem with this because this conversation should be Vaughn, Miss Jaws, how amazing is the internet turned since da 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 da. But instead, it's progressively getting worse. Mm-hmm. And like I said, if you don't believe me, if you're listening for the first time, because they're going to shout it out on social media, go to any Twitch support post they have posted since that stupid bitch threw that cat. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No matter what the fucking topic is, it's in there. But I can name 4 right now really good streamers that have thought about at one point in time, did at one point in time, or wants to at one point in time quit your service because they go live and they're that horrible fucking word. And everybody's argument with me always, well, Rev, Black people can be racist too. No, they can't. I need you to sit down and let me teach you a history lesson. Mm-hmm. The world is 90, 100 million years old, billion years old. I don't care how long. Civilization has been a thing for a very long time. In the history of civilization, there has never been one occurrence ever where white people were enslaved.
Preach.
Never.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And you can't change the definition of a word to fit your narrative. Can Black people be bigoted? As somebody that has a mark on the back of the head for being hit with a shovel by a Black person because I was white-skinned, because that's the truth. Yes, Black people can be bigoted. Mm-hmm. But racist? Mm-hmm. Please
right,
stop.
Exactly.
Please
exactly.
Stop. So my next question is there anything, since you're really not a huge on Twitter, I'll readjust the topic for you, Joss. Is there anything that Twitch could do other than mass banning, since they're obviously not going to get rid of the word? And Vaughn, I'll start with you on that
one. If there's anything that Twitch can do, honestly, it's a lot harder to answer because I feel that there's no definite answer to that question. It's not like, oh, just do this and then that's it. Like, you know how people are on the internet. If they get blocked one way, they're gonna try to find a way around it. Like we're talking about the internet. Like things are unpredictable, and being Black, you gotta keep your guard up. Particularly for anybody when it comes to the internet, you gotta keep your guard up because people will try to find a way to get around certain rules. Like I've came like even on the PlayStation, I was playing the Modern Warfare beta and I saw someone's screen name and his screen name was fuck and then NIQQRERS. Like, so they're getting around the word. They're getting around it. It's there. It's deliberate, but it's still there. They just didn't spell it completely. They just took the Q and kind of reversed it to a Q. So I feel people like that will try to get around certain policies, certain tools that, that's provided to streamers, moderators, and whatnot. And honestly, I don't know how to answer that, Rep, to be completely honest with you. It's not something that you could just give a direct answer to. I think it's a lot of multiple things that you can do. And it's something that you're going to have to take it up to Twitch, or I should say Amazon, because they own Twitch, to figure out what you can do to diminish, or minimize these incidents, these racial incidents, the harassment, the discrimination happening. because we can only understand so much about how Twitch works until we see it with our own eyes. But until then, everything that we complain about, it's like we don't know what goes on behind scenes. It's not as simple as just, oh, let's just ban this word. It's like maybe there's an algorithm, maybe there's certain
but it
security
is.
features.
But
Right.
it's 100% that fucking easy.
Right.
It's simple. The most foul word in the entire world is that word.
Exactly.
I had the saying, and because you were part of Rise Up Gaming when I was running it as that kind of thing before the burnout happened. I was saying there's a few words in the world that has no context. You cannot use them in any context other than the word the way it's being used currently. Because if you say the N word, everybody knows what the fuck you're talking about. They don't think that it means a dirty Southern person.
Right.
That's out of the fucking line. The same thing with RAPE. There is no context to that word except for what that word is.
Mm-hmm.
So period. So like my problem is they know the word is that foul. Why is it still being allowed? And to the NIQQER, I laugh when I see that shit now, just because you know how much of a sad human being that person has to be to have to go that route to say something to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer just hate anymore. That's a sad human being, and I would guarantee anybody that has to go around spelling NIGGER out to say it another way, you can teach not to say that word in the first place.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put money on it. It's the ones that strictly use the real spelling. And that's rather sad to me, because it's like Twitch understands so much algorithm wise that you can't go on your Twitch stream anymore and have a legit beef with somebody else on the platform, because you will be banned.
They kind of leave it to us. They kind of leave it to us to make they leave it to us to make a list of banned words for our channel, when it's like, okay, like things like the N word, the R word and the F word and everything, like things like that should be universally banned by default. Why is it left for the streamer to make up that ban list? There was a time I had to ask people on Twitter, like, do you guys have a list of banned words that you guys use? Because there's only so much that I can think of, and I'll see in someone else's list and it will say different letters, or they'll take a slur and it's spelt differently, and I'm like, I never really thought of that. So yeah, I think that's something that should be more so on Twitch themselves, rather than, oh, we'll just leave that up to the streamer.
I don't think algorithmically you can justify ever using that word.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn if Ninja comes back to the platform and he all of a sudden has 1 million viewers every day, and he allows that word. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, the bread and butter of Twitch, no matter what anybody can says, it's not the ninjas. It's not. I mean, streaming as a whole. It's not the ninjas. It's not the Tim the Tatmans, the Dr. Disrespects, or any of those guys. And I want you to notice, I'm not saying any black streamers, because they don't get promoted that way. Brandon and you, Vaughn, I can name 15, 20 black streamers that should be huge. Miss Ash Rocks should be massive. Is not, because they're not promoted the other way. It doesn't matter what the algorithm is. The word is used for and abused by hate.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately for you guys and other black streamers on all platforms, you will always be second fiddle until something majorly happens. Because 2 weeks ago on this podcast, and I'll kick this to you, Josh, because I'm interested in your thoughts on this. 2 weeks ago on this podcast, we had a mental health discussion, and I was told by pretty much everybody but Wooly that was involved with it, hey, they're just trolls on the internet. You can ignore them. Well, Miss Josh, you're a black woman, so you have the worst aspect of the world when it comes to this shit. Because not only do you get it from the other races, but you get it from the black males. Words from my mother. Do you think that you can just ignore this shit? Is this something that you can look past and enjoy your time on the internet? Or is this something that is a real fucking issue.
I want to get to the disturbing truth about it. It's an issue, but the reality is, if you can't ignore it, you kind of just can't really enjoy using the internet. You can't enjoy being in a public space. I don't want to, or like I didn't want to have to get used to it. I didn't want to have to be accustomed to it. I didn't want to, especially like if I can talk about it really quick. Gatekeeping is a huge thing. If we even just
Yeah,
take the
it's pretty
racism out,
bad.
gatekeeping is a huge thing. If we want to focus on men, black men, any race of men, gatekeeping is a huge thing. It's really disheartening to have to deal with from all the dude bros, from anybody really, but it's even more disheartening to have to deal with that intolerance and gatekeeping from black men as well.
Mm.
They think that you're feigning your interest for male attention or for any other reason whatsoever. But I'm 27 years old. I've been dealing with it for as long as I can remember. I've had these interests for as long as I can remember, so it's not new to me. I expect my feelings typically don't get hurt by it anymore. I'm not proud to say that I've gotten used to it. It's just expected. I typically have neutral names online so that like when I'm playing for one thing, Overwatch, very toxic game. I don't even get in voice chat with Overwatch because I don't bother. You know, I just make those kinds of decisions to have a more enjoyable experience. So since they don't know I'm a girl, it's typically okay. But I have to hide that. So it's kind of like once again. And I've gotten used to it. I've gotten accustomed to it. But just to say, oh, but just to ignore it. I mean, people love to say, like, I hate this saying, like, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. That's words have like the people that are saying the words, well, like it's just on Twitter. Y'all take Twitter. This isn't real life. Do
Yeah,
you think
exactly.
robots are saying this? Like, I don't understand. Like, where do you think the words are? Like, I think it's really narrow-minded to just tell someone, oh, well, just ignore it, or oh, well, like you let that bother you. But words, like to me, physical pain is nothing compared to like some of the words that have been said just for existing, being born the way that I was. So for people that are like, oh, you need to just ignore it, they can honestly, pardon my French, go fuck themselves. Because until you walked in my shoes, in these shoes, in the shoes of black women especially, then you'll never fully understand ever. Um, and that's okay because you can't. There's just no way for you to. That's not anybody's fault. But I really do feel like we have a long way to go. Um, Racism, men in general, as far as that, as far as gatekeeping and just overall existing in nerdy spaces, and it's hard. I'm used to it, but it's hard. I'm tired, but I don't expect it to change, sadly. So I've accepted that space for what it is, and I'm going to continue to try to carve out my own area of it and to try to erase as much toxicity as I can.
Facts, facts.
Same
Yeah.
thing. Same thing to you, Vaughn. Same thing to you.
Um, just like what Josh, Josh, I noticed you mentioned what was it that you meant that you said earlier that you got used to it. Yeah, you say you're pretty much used to it. You've been going through it your whole life and everything, and that this honestly should not be the case. You know what I'm saying? Like this kind of environment that we're in, as far as like the gaming industry goes, it shouldn't be something that we should get used to. It sucks to hear that. Like it's heartbreaking. It's especially from Joss, from her position, considering that she's getting hit from both ends, from both fronts. The sexism and the racism. Put that together, that's misogynoir. Hate for black women, and that breaks my heart to hear that, and to hear that from anybody, whether you're a person of color, your sexual orientation, your religion. It breaks my heart. As far as you know, the whole question goes, I was thinking about the time, me working at Redacted gaming store. I have people I have, people of color always coming to the store. Majority of our customers are people of color, black folks and everything. And, it's a refreshing feeling to have, black folks coming in, buying games, hyping up certain titles, like Call of Duty, 2K, the next Legend of Zelda, Pokemon, like
Mm-hmm.
black folks of all backgrounds are coming in with different tastes in gaming. May it be retro, may it be past gen, PS3, maybe the Wii. They're excited about the next PlayStation 5 and whatnot. It's like these people, like they have all different tastes. And it's more than just, all black folks plays, Call of Duty, 2K, Madden, and
Mm-hmm.
GTA. We play a lot more than that. Josh pointed out we also play Overwatch. I myself play StarCraft. Games like that you wouldn't really picture a black person gaming, but we still out here. We're still in this bitch. So, and not to mention, I see these black folks and, they feel some type of way. They know how it is, how there's a lot of racism in the industry. And I always tell them that, like the fact that you guys play games and everything, it's important because we need that visibility. We got to let the whole world know that, we're not limited to these game titles. Like black folks are gamers just like everyone else. We just want to chill and just have some fun. But like what Josh mentioned, it sucks that we're kind of living in a time where um, people just don't want to talk online. I have plenty of customers that will come in and they'll say, I only play single player. Because if I go online, there's going to be a lot of fuck shit and it gets me mad. And that fuck shit is pretty much, the racism and the sexism and everything else. And I understand that. I can't tell them, nah, just try online. Yo, just play online. Yo, you're with me. It'll be cool. I can't do that to them. I can't force them in that uncomfortable position. And it sucks because that the gaming industry is so toxic to the point where people of color, people with a different sexual identity or orientation don't want to play games because they feel that they're going to get some sort of hate. They're going to have trolls coming their way. They're going to be discriminated in some way, shape, or form. And that sucks. And we live in that time. I'm hoping that's not the case for the next gen when my kids come in, when they start playing games. But we're focusing on now, and we got to fix that now, for the next generation of kids that wants to play the games and feel safe and play games without worrying about, oh, what if this person sends me a message and they tell me, to kill myself, dropping a few slurs here and there or start spamming messages and whatnot. It really sucks. It really does. So that's something that I wish we could break down for sure.
My microphone wouldn't come unmuted. What the hell?
I was like, did I say anything
I was
wrong?
like, okay,
No, hell no. My issue with everything is she said the word so we can discuss the word because that was actually the last topic. Do you think the gatekeeping by some of the groups, Devon, more to you than I guess this is to all three of you. Do you think the gatekeeping by some of the groups is actually hurting the causes of the groups?
Oh, hell yeah. I'm not sure if you guys want to go, but I have a lot to say about the gatekeeping. Y'all could go first, honestly. I've seen it, I've heard it, and I hate it. But y'all can go ahead first.
All I'm gonna say is I am a white-skinned Native American raised by a black woman that has been told that I am not white enough to be around white people because of where I was raised and how I was raised. I am not dark enough to be a Native American because, once again, white skin does that to you. And the one that hurts me the most, the one that I was raised by, and the one that affects me the most, and my background's the most from, because I do not have brown or black skin, means I have no say-so, no thought process, no nothing into something that I have probably seen more of than most people with the same skin color.
Mm-hmm.
Like at at 18 years old, my first arrest was because I beat the shit out of my mother's boyfriend for while they were having sex. He called her the N word.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
And I put him in the hospital. I don't give a damn they were having sex. I don't give a damn that was her kink. The fact that my black mother, the woman that raised me, the woman that made me the man I am today, was being called that word set me off mentally.
Of course.
And I watched my brothers get arrested for being black in public, literally.
Mm-hmm.
So I may have not felt it, but I've seen it far more than most have. So when I get told, and I will not say no names because Devon is friends with some of them, when I've been told by some of the black groups on Twitch that I'm not wanted because I don't know the struggle, all I can think is, you don't know the struggle. You live in a nice suburban neighborhood surrounded by a bunch of white people, while from 13 to 24, I lived in the 9th Ward of New Orleans.
Oh, yeah, I'm very familiar with that. Yep. Yeah.
Like, I know far more, and I can be a much help. That's why I started Rise Up Gaming, because I have children. I have a beautiful mixed baby. I have two other daughters, and I have 2 daughters and 2 other sons. And I just wanted somewhere where they felt safe around everybody. And it didn't matter color or gender or sexuality or religion or creed or nationality. All it mattered was understand we're all equal. Every one of us is equal. When I got shot, I bled the same as you getting stabbed. That's how it works.
Yep.
That's how this shit works. And at the end of the day, when we die, people are going to be sad. The end. That's reality. That's not me hyping something up. So my gatekeeping question is important because I need not just my community and Rise Up Gaming and the people that have skin color like me, or is a ethnicity like I am, with Native Americans and non-whites, but I need everybody to realize that you are creating something that you want to be special, right? Well, if somebody is willing to give you the outside in specialness and help you grow, gatekeeping is going to cause them to go, fuck them, I'm not interested. Oh, they're being harassed on Twitch. Well, that sucks, but at the same time, nothing I can do because they've already showed me the door once, and that sucks for me, because that's not how life should be. Like, so Joss, before, because I know Vaughn has some words.
I have some.
So we'll do this right. We'll do this right in the order. We'll go the Native American that's extremely opinionated. White guy, do you have anything about gatekeeping?
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's stupid. Let's just put it at that. It's stupid to try to gatekeep, in my opinion, because, if you have people that want to help out with something, it shouldn't matter. If they want to help out, they want to help out. But
do they have an alternative motive? Probably. But didn't you? I'm just saying. Like, my alternative motive for Rise Up Gaming was to create a place for everybody, but mainly my children. My 5 children. I wanted my 5 children to have somewhere on the internet to where I know that if I die, if I decide to go off the internet, or if I'm asleep, they're not going to be harassed horrendously, because the one thing that will never change is the thing that always changes, and that is the internet. So Josh, to you, same question. Gatekeeping, good, bad, or fuck, or are you crazy?
I think gatekeeping, I think it started out being something that was supposed to be positive, right? It definitely isn't what it is now, especially by minority communities, because we all felt threatened. And so I think we would kind of went too far on the opposite side. So with that being said, I honestly do feel like there are a lot of people who are either other POC or even just white people who see that, hey, they're kind of fucked up. Y'all shouldn't be going through this. What can I do, or how can I help, or let me learn to carry on some of the teachings, because my voice is more valuable according to society. So if you can help me pass along the message to get y'all heard, then I'll do that. I do feel like that we have the tendency to shun those people, and I think that's dumb. I don't think gatekeeping benefits anybody. And that's honestly how you have to look at it. By being possessive of these spaces, by keeping the door closed, what are we getting from it? So I don't really have a lot to say about that because I could talk about that for 20 minutes, and I think Vaughn is going to cover it a lot better than I can.
Right.
But I think you get the gist of how I feel. I feel like it's unnecessary. We're in a point now where it just does more harm than good, in my opinion. There are so many different areas of gatekeeping, whether it be about protected spaces or even dumb things like video games and anime. It's just stupid and obnoxious and annoying all around. The end.
The end. So Vaughn, I'm gonna kick it to you, but I'm going to be an ass about it.
Hit me.
I wanted to talk gatekeeping with you because you happen to be one of the very few Black creators on Twitch that was gatekeeped by other Black creators on Twitch.
What?
And we're not going to say any names. We're not going to say any names. But the reason I look up to you the way I do, Vaughn, is because I watched it happen with my own eyes with fucking anger in my heart.
Mm.
And I couldn't say nothing because of the color of my skin.
No,
And it was heartbreaking. You said it was heartbreaking for what you saw and what Josh said. It was so fucking heartbreaking to see somebody. And I'm going to gush about Devon for a minute, guys. So just sit down and
Please
enjoy Rev being a little emotional. When I met Devon, I was still under the opinion, and I still believed at the time that me being how I was raised and being taught and told that if I did not use the NIGGA word to people I felt comfortable with, I was nothing. I meant nothing. I was just another white person in the neighborhood. So I used it freely, and I had no issue with it. And when me and Devon talked, he said, well, I have no issue with it, but the thing is it's going to upset somebody someday, and that's what you got to remember. And that shit fucking stuck with me really fucking hard. And I still say it from time to time off now, but it used to be constant because that's literally what I was taught. My mother Williams was a 5'9", 355, beautiful Black queen. And she taught me, look, you got to use certain words no matter if they make you comfortable or not, because if you don't, you won't survive here. So I was taught by a Black person that it's okay for me to use it, because if you use it in the right term, everybody's going to know he's not meaning this he mean that as family. He's not saying this in any hateful way. Devon told me that, and I started thinking about it, and I started cutting it down. And then I watched this situation with the other Black community gatekeep Vaughn, and I was just like, if that Ninth Ward New Orleans Rev was coming out, I'd get banned from everywhere, because I would say things and do things that is not what I am as a person now. And I realized that a 5-minute conversation that me and you were joking around and Devon changed who I was slightly as a person, because you were not uncomfortable with me using the word. You just said that somebody someday would be. And it was one of those things. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what am I watching here? Why, out of everybody, is it because he came up with a superior name with the Black Gamers Revolution? Is that what the gatekeeping was about? Is it because he's actually nice to people like me? Is it because he's nice to everybody? Equality? Like, what the hell is actually happening? So I had to unfollow everybody that was involved with both groups, except for Devon at that time, because Devon had no backup, and Josh, he fought this alone. He didn't ask for backup, but Devon had no backup, and these people were just, I won't say brutal, but it was fucked up how it happened. So Devon, you are a much greater man than me. I am honored to fucking know you and call you my friend.
Humbled.
I really am, because, dude, I threw Rise Up Gaming away for far fucking less than what you did. I got gatekeeped twice, and I was just like, you know what, this ain't fucking worth it. I can create a charity movement on Twitch. I can create an equality movement on Twitch, and I can be thrown away by Twitch. And I was like, fuck it. and we've ran one charity in 12 months. That's coming from Rev, who ran 161 in the 6 years previous. So I just wanted to tell you that story, Devon, because it's important for me to speak from the heart to y'all too. I'm always controversial.
Respect. Yep.
I'm always controversial. I'm always saying some shit that people are like, God, did you have to say that? But at the end of the day, yes, I fucking did. So Devon, gatekeeping, how do you fucking feel?
Well, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. I mean, we all try to be better people. That's really our goal. We all try to be better people. I may not be like the greatest person, but I do try my best nonetheless. But before anything, I just wanted to say this. As far as gatekeeping goes, I just want to say this. And it may sound like I'm singling people out, but I feel as if in the position that I'm in, I have to say it because I'm in that position. But I'm going to need all of y'all black male gamers to stop gatekeeping when it comes to black female gamers. Once again, at my job where I sell games, I see it so many times. I'll have, there'll be a black girl that comes in, she just want to get her game. It could be any game. It could be a single player. It could be God of War. It could be Gears of War. I don't care. She'll come in and there will be a couple dudes that will, again, black dudes that will see her and they'll be like, oh, you play games? And she'll be like, yeah, I play games. And the first question is, oh, what games do you play? First thing. Genuine question, no problem. Oh, I play this and this and this and that. And they're like, you play this? What you know about that game? And I'm just there. I'm like, oh, God, here we go. And, it's like, oh, like, what system do you play on? Yada, yada, yada. Like, man, well, you know about this and everything. Like, I'll show you how to play this. So you should play this game. And it's like, bruh, like, she just wants to get a game. She just want to do her thing. And that's it. She isn't trying to show off or anything else. Like, it's really annoying. And there's a lot of times where even my associates, I'll have female employees at my job, and I'll have guys that will come into the store, right? And let's just say this female coworker that I have is a supervisor or is a store manager. That male customer will literally skip my female superior and come to me because I'm a guy. And so that means by default, I know a lot more about games than she does, despite the fact that she has more experience, in the job than I do. It's crazy. It's really crazy. There was a time I came into the store and, clocked in, and there was like these three guys, and they were talking to like my store manager. And they were like, yo, bro, can I talk to you for a second? I just want to ask you a quick question. And he apologized to my female supervisor. And he was like, yo, what do you think is the best headset that I can get? And I was like, and I know my manager knows a lot about gaming, including headsets. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, honestly, I don't know a lot about games. I just hear she knows about headsets than I do. I'm like, why did you cut to me? Like, y'all were just talking to her. I just clocked in. Like, why are you coming to me? Like, it's crazy. Like, I understand, like, it's gatekeeping, but gatekeeping leads to other things. Gatekeeping not only makes you, exclude people from your community, but it also unconsciously trains your mind into thinking, oh, because you're a woman, you don't know much about games. Or because you're a woman, maybe you don't really play GTA like that. Or you don't really play Call of Duty like that. Maybe you play, I don't know, you probably play Sims more than anything. You probably play Candy Crush. You probably play, what's the name of that game? Daddy Crush, that sim game, or whatever.
Daddy something.
Daddy something.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I've seen girls play the craziest games. I had a little girl who was, 10 years old, and she beat Last of Us. So I'm like, yo, like, if a young girl could do it, so can anyone else. So I don't understand the point of gatekeeping. And it's very prevalent in the Black community. A lot of Black men do it to Black women. So it's very important. And I'm going to say this to all the black men who are gamers and are listening to this podcast right now. Like, you got to bring black women into this, man. You got to bring them into the community. Black women play video games just as much as y'all, if not even more. Probably more than you. Probably more than you. They play a lot more than the games I mentioned before. They play a lot of games too. They probably play the games that you play. Don't be on that fuck shit and say, oh, not a lot of black girls play video games. Oh, no, they do. They do. You're just not looking hard enough. Either you're not looking hard enough or you're just on your fuck shit. You know, like, you know, me, Joss and me, we've been in this gaming industry, like in the black gaming in the community for 3 years. And I can name, you know, like 10 black female streamers off the top of my head now. But meanwhile, you got average Joe who can't. You know, I could give him a list. Wait, Joss, wasn't there a post on Twitter where there was a dude and he was like, oh, like there's black streamers, can you give me like a few? And it just blew up. Like everyone just started commenting. I shit you not. Yo, Rev, we had like dozens of people saying, tagging people on the daily, like, yo, check out Joss, check out Ultra, check out Black Gamers, Cookout POC, Black Girl Gamers. The list
It's
is
not hard once you take this a small amount of time to look, but you have to have that interest to look at it.
The problem with what you just said though is we shouldn't have to make that fucking list, because does either one of you know who Miss Do It Big is?
Yes, I do. I do. Fortnite streamer.
Say that one.
Right? Miss Do It Big.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
she's an amazing Fortnite player. She shoots gun games probably better than most people I've ever seen. But the only reason she got recognition is because she was shouted out by Dr. Disrespect. What?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm hearing this.
Missy is a huge thing in his channel. It's one of the very few reasons I have respect for the man. And that's just maybe Rev being an asshole to somebody, but I mean, it is one of the very few reasons I have respect for him. There's so many. Miss Ash Rocks, I brought her up earlier. Like the fact when I saw that tweet, I'm like, y'all gonna walk on some people and not even mean to do it, because I know for a fact Queen Nephrodite was never tagged in that tweet storm. She's an OG of Twitch. Like, what the fuck? That actually bothered me as much as, to me, it was a form of gatekeeping, because it was the only people that got really knocked out, the only people really got shouted out are people that are close to the community, are ones that are big enough to get some attention. So people like Queen Nephrodite and Miss Ash Rocks at the time, and Miss Do It Big, it's just like, why are y'all not saying their names? These women have busted their ass to give y'all a platform, and they've gone through far worse than anybody that's currently on Twitch, because at least there's rules on Twitch now about abusing you guys. It may not be looked at the way it should be, but like when Queen Nephrodite and Missy and Miss Amber all started streaming, they had to be part of Rise Up Gaming to survive on Twitch. They had to be, because I was the only person at the time that was fighting against that stupid bullshit. I would sit in their channel all day and be like, ban. And Miss Burr has it worse, because it's Ayane is her name, by the way. I'm going to take a list of people and Wooly will put them down below, and I'm going to get some from y'all when we're done, and we're going to put them all down below, and we're going to shout out some more people that we feel that needs to be shouted out. But Miss Ayane is a double whammy, because she plays Gears of War and NBA. So wow. She plays the opposite of what anybody would ever expect a female gamer to play, much less a black female. So it's sad to me. It really, really is, that we need a tweet on Twitter to show love to people that is being gatekeeped by their own people. Because am I right to say that you've never heard of at least two of those women that I just said?
You are accurate.
Yeah.
That sucks for me because I know for a fact, Vaughn, you would love Miss Amber. Amber is one of the most genuine human beings on earth. I know you, Josh, from Black Gamers Revolution when I was in the Discord, but not as well as I do Devon. I know for a fact if all three of those women, Missy, all three of them are just, they're genuine human beings. They're great at the games they're playing, and they get overlooked even by their own community. And that shit fucking bothers me.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
So last topic, and then we can bounce up out of here. What do you think needs to change in your own community? So on your Twitch channel, in your Discords, on Twitter towards people, what do you think you can do to make a change into getting a little bit more of what you want to see? And I'll start with you, Miss Joss.
This kind of goes back to what I was saying about. This is gonna sound so cliche, and I kind of hate saying it, but it's just so fitting. Be the change you want to see, right? So I feel like before BGR, I'd never really played games. So I started like when I met Vaughn, I just bought Overwatch, and I was new to even just kind of chatting online because I'd been so nervous about it, right? So I couldn't really find, like, it was hard for me to find more people like me, I guess, more black people, more female gamers, stuff like that, just because I was so terrified of the racism that I knew was prevalent online. So even disregarding BGR and us starting that for it to be a safe space, I still feel like we could have there. To me, there's never too many spaces. So I personally want to just be. I want to be able to host like a lobby of competitive games, right? I love to play games competitively. I love like the rush of like killing my friends. It's great. So, but I feel like with those type of environments, it's really easy to become toxic. So I want to be like one of the first people to create one of those lobbies where it's not founded on toxicity. It's founded on positivity. And hey, even when you're losing, we're still going to have fun and we're still going to respect each other. And anybody's welcome, not just POC or women or anything like that. However, if you act up, you're done. Right. So like I just want it to be a nice environment where everybody feels free to like, hey, like, I want to be able to play with my friends and not worry about being called something. Like, I want to be able to have that. So basically what I would have wanted when I first started 3 years ago, I'm going to provide, whether it takes 2 years, 2 decades, 2 months, whatever. That's what I'm trying to work with and for every day. Aside from doing that, I don't really think there's much to it. I feel like relying on other people to pave the way is, I don't know, it's kind of selfish and it doesn't really help. So I think, and I hate to say it again, being the change that you want to see is the first step in doing that, because there are a lot of genuine people on Twitch and on Twitter that I've met that I've been gaming with, but they easily get overshadowed by the bigger names, the whiter names, the more known names, and I just want to have less of a popularity contest and more of a nice little arcade bowling alley environment where we're all friends, we're all having a good time, we're all laid back, we're not worried about like the social hierarchy or any toxicity or any racism or any gatekeeping or anything of that. So that ultimately, and I'll keep calling it the arcade environment. That is what I strive for. So as long as I can create that, to me, I feel like that's a really big step in the right direction.
Well, two things. Let's fucking do it. I got you back. I'll help you with that one. But more importantly, we can get rid of the racism and the sexism and the bigotry. We will never, ever, ever get rid of the social the social aspect of he has more viewers, she has more viewers than me, so she's better than me.
Right.
That will never change because that's a human racism is not inherently born into you. Sexism is not inherently born into you, right? Bigotry is not inherently born into
No,
you.
they're not.
Being a shitty person 100% is, though. That is that is coded in your. I'm a shitty person. I just use my shitty behavior and my assholish behavior to try to help others. I was born that way. I was taught, and Josh, you may not know this about me, so wake up call for you. I was taught for the first 9 years of my life to hate every black person, Mexican, and person that did not have white skin on this earth. To hate them, just fucking hate them.
Wow.
That's what I was taught. My grandfather was a member of the KKK, high-ranking member, Grand Dragon of the state of Louisiana. But in his last 2 years of his life, he became friends with a black person from a neighboring city. And I was like, oh, well, this is fucking confusing.
That sounds like a movie plot. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
I've actually been told that my life is a movie plot, because then my grandfather died, and me and my birth mother had a huge thing, and I ran away from home, and I ran to New Orleans, and a big black woman who was a member of the Black Panthers in the 60s and 70s raised me.
Yeah.
So I went from racism against black people to bigotry of whites, and I'm not lying. I can take a picture if I shaved my head, but I have dents in my head to where I was beat up with shovels and bricks because I was white in a black neighborhood. So I've seen both. Nobody can tell me, oh, you don't know the struggle. Motherfucker, you've never had your ass whooped for being white. Shut up.
This is where we should announce we're writing the script for the movie.
Yeah.
So
and it's like my brother taught me, because when I was 14 years old, I watched my older brother Terrell get shot, and it was one of the fucked up moments in my life, because he's lying on the street in front of my house with my mother freaking the fuck out because he'd been shot. And he told me, one day this is going to be you, and you're going to see we're going to bleed the same fucking way. And I was like, I ain't ever going to get shot. 6 months later, I got shot.
Wow.
Like, that really fucking happened. And when he came to the hospital to visit me, he was just like, I told you. I was like, our blood's the same. I can't ever fucking argue that ever again. And he goes, just because you're not blood to me doesn't mean we're not blood. And that has impacted me all my life. That's why I am the way I am with people like Wooly and Aegon and David. Just because we're not of the same family doesn't mean we're not family.
Right.
So it's, as long as people understand there's always going to be classism, we can get rid of the rest. There's always going to be, we're never going to be able to stop it, because even it's like that stupid, what's that? Fairly Odd Parents, where everybody turned gray. Somebody's always going to claim to be grayer than the gray.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Oh, holy crap.
So as long
true.
as we fight the racism and the sexism and the bigotry, look, man, let people gas themselves up about being richer. There's professional football players that couldn't hold a candle to me on the football field, but they had the money and the wealth, and I don't. That's facts.
Yeah.
So to you, same question, Devon.
Can you repeat the question one time?
What do you think you could do in your community and on your Twitter and in your life to make all of this better?
That's an interesting question. Pretty much, it's really a matter of just education. You know, people come from all corners of life. A lot of people, unfortunately, come from, let's say, for example, closeted or closed gated communities. And with a closed community, there's going to be, some thoughts that's going to get put into your head, or people's going to teach you things that you don't have any exposure to, but because you have a couple people telling you this stereotype or this sort of quote unquote information, you think you know something. But then when you come out of that comfort zone and you meet these said people, you think to yourself, okay, you guys aren't what people back home said you were. I want to provide that space. I want to let people know that, hey, you come in here, you're safe. You don't have to worry about any bigotry, any fuck shit, or that sort of thing. We come from all sorts of life. We have different life experiences. We come with different combinations of identities. Everybody is welcomed. That is the bottom line. Me personally, Rev, you mentioned how the first I guess you said 7 to 9 years. You said you was taught to hate black folks or people of color and everything. Me, I want to mention. I think I posted this up on Twitter like a month ago. I think a good 10 years ago, I would say ish, 5 to 10 years ago, I was sort of on that same nonsense, but it wasn't really the racism or internalized racism, but it was more sexism. It was growingly incel. I think we all know what that means. And I almost fell into that dark hole. And again, it's like that community just preys on your insecurity. It's like, oh, you're insecure. Oh, girls don't like you because you play video games and you do this. Things like that, they put into your head, and you're vulnerable and you feel like, yo, girls don't like me because of this. But I had to get out of that and talk to different people and hear from the experiences of women, and that's how I got to the whole social justice thing. And I actually learned that, like, it's not really like that. Like, y'all are just a load of shit, so I don't want it to be a place of like, oh, just a safe space, but I also want to educate people. I want you to be a better person than you are now. I'm not gonna lie, I still fight mentally. I still fight certain biases. There's certain biases I still have to fight, and every day I strive to be a better person. I'm not gonna name them, but
That's
still
normal.
fight to be. Yeah, that's normal. That's normal for us. But I think to actively do it is a lot harder. It's one thing to do it in your head, but it's something to actively do it, and that's something that a lot of people don't. So that's something I want to provide through my channel, through my Twitter, through streaming, maybe Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. And I'm happy that I teamed up with, folks like Joss and everybody else, because now we have a community, we have a platform to say, hey, listen, this is how it should be. It shouldn't be like, we want to let you guys know that, all this hate, all these stereotypes isn't normal. Like, don't rock with that. We're going to show you guys what really goes down. We're gonna challenge you a little bit. You may feel some type of way, but we're gonna straighten you up real quick, and you're gonna thank us down the road. Because no one wants to be on the other side of the fence. But unfortunately, there are people that do. And it sucks. I will never understand it. I don't even want to understand it. I don't think any human should, quote unquote, understand racism and misogyny and sedimism and whatnot. No human should understand that. Again, like what Rev mentioned, it's one thing to be a shitty person, but to be a shitty person and racist and homophobic and it's transphobic, etc., then that's just
You just
below.
lose.
Yeah, that's just below garbage.
I'll drop a bomb. I'll drop a bomb on y'all. Then I understand it. I understand 100% why humans are the way they are. And it doesn't make it less heartbreaking, and it doesn't make me feel good to know that I understand it, but I, without a shadow of a doubt, can explain all the behavior in one kind of long sentence. It's not hard to be a good person, but it's so much easier to be what you were taught. Racism, sexism, bigotry, hate speech, anything you want to say against anything was taught. You are taught to be homophobic, be it by the church or be it by your parents. You were taught to be racist. be it by the media or be it by your parents. You were taught to be anti-Semitic, be it by the media or be it by history. You were taught to be sexist, be it by your parents or be it by your parents, because that's where it comes from. There is no other place. I've never in my life, and I'm 41 years old, going on 42, I have never in my life heard of a sexist person go, well, yeah, my mom and dad was equal and they treated each other with respect and this, that. I just think that women need to be in the kitchen. That's never happened ever, ever, anywhere.
Right.
It's usually the quite opposite. Not quite. It is the opposite. And it's not hard to understand where it comes from. The thing that I've been struggling with, Vaughn, you know this more than anybody, is how do we fix that? How do we? I can't at any point in time, and I've never claimed this, I can change the world, but I can change one person. I can help one person realize what the fuck is going on, like you did with the IGGA word. That may not be big to a lot of people, but as a Native American, that's huge. Like that took a comfort word out when I'm flabbergasted, or I'm just, hey, I'm really excited to see you, Devon. Like it took a word out, but I learned it, and I started Rise Up Gaming. I'm the one that wanted this to be this way in the first place. So if I can be taught, and I know I can teach one person, I think understanding it is easy. Fixing it is the hard part.
Mm-hmm.
Because my Mama Williams taught me a long time ago. I used to cry at night because I was being picked on because I have white skin. And she taught me, boy, there ain't nothing worse on this entire earth than being a black woman in today's America. And I was like, what do you mean, Mom? And she told me, no matter what we do, we'll never be good enough, not even to our own kind. And I looked at her and I looked up at her and I was like, I will never complain about how I'm treated ever again when it comes to my religion or my color of my skin or my sexuality. And she's like, that's all you need to know the rest of your life then. That there's people that's always got it worse than you, and you should remember that. And I forget that from time to time, but at the same time, it's just like, how impactful was that in 2000 when she said that to me?
Mm-hmm.
How fucking huge is that still today? How are we having these conversations? I sit here and I follow a lot of political people on Twitter, and maybe I should unfollow a lot of them, but can you believe that this black child was arrested at 6 years old? Yes, I can believe it. And that's fucking wrong that I can believe it, but I can fucking believe it. Mm-hmm. Can you believe that this trans woman was beat to death? Yes, I can. Because
absolutely.
We still abuse just gay people. Mm-hmm. There's no difference between the three, but like at or all the sexualities, but at the same time, if you can't look at the common thing, how can you not understand the uncommon thing? Like, this is not rocket science. Hate will always find a way to hate, no matter what it is. They will always come up with a new way. Women were hated really hard in the early 1900s. They got the right to vote, and instead of women taking control of it, they backed off some, and they got put into basically being subservience in their household for 3 generations. And now that the new generation women's coming up, that's not the way they want it or the way it's going to be, and the world's shook. That's the way it should be. You should be shook, but you should be happy that it's changing like that instead of, not. or like slavery ended 200 years ago. Yes, that's true. Slavery ended 200 years ago, except for that's not true. The last slaves were held in the United States in the 1900s. First off. Second off, didn't get to vote till 1967. So that means that people my age can say that within the generation that I'm in, was still lived in a part of time where blacks couldn't even vote. Like,
and even so, the rippling effect is still felt today. It's not just because, oh yeah, they were freed, so everything is equal, everything's normal. There's no generational wealth or anything like that amongst us. Like it's so many other things that people ignore because slavery ended 200 years ago. Why are you still bitching?
Because Mississippi has more black people per capita than anywhere in the United States, and it's still a red state. That's why we're still bitching. Because Louisiana has like a 40% minority, and they're still a red state. That's fucking why. That's why that's why Jim Crow. Oh, Jim Crow disappeared in the 80s. No, it didn't.
No, it did it.
It turned into crack. No, it turned into crack cocaine.
Yes, that too. Yes,
It turned into presidents making project systems to better the livelihoods of blacks, but introducing high quality, high end drugs into the same place, causing them to enslave themselves, which has happened. Oh, Bill Clinton was such a good president. Yeah, well, explain that to my brother that died in jail on a 3-strike rule for weed, for fucking weed. That's not in slavery. That's something else, right? No, it's not. That is. Oh, got it. Like, it blows my fucking mind that people are still so naive to think that things are so much different than the 60s. They are. We don't see black people getting hung from trees all the time anymore. Congratulations.
And that's just all the time.
That's I worded it the way I worded it for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, no, and even if you say, well, when's the last time a black person got hung? Okay, so what about the black people that are gunned down in the streets for being black by police? Oh, that's the same fucking thing, just with a different weapon. You're still murdering somebody for the color of their skin. Well, black on black crime, yes, in an inner city that the government. I'm not even going to say the GOP because dumbass Clinton was a fucking Democrat. The government has set black people in inner cities up to fail.
It has, and even then, that's such an awful argument because it's like, well, we all kill each other, so why can't we? That's legitimately what that argument is.
I honestly thought Devon would say that, so it's funny. I honestly thought Devon was going to say it.
I didn't want to be too dominant in the conversation, so I was like, I'll let y'all.
I thought you would butt in and say it. So her saying it just, if y'all don't understand the magnitude of what she just said, well, first off, please talk to a local black person and ask them how they live their life. That's first off, because your skin's showing. And second off, more importantly, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because that's more white people are killed every year by the cops than blacks. Yes. They are.
Yeah.
But more white people are involved with the cops every year than that's how it works. If there's 9 million interactions between the public and the police, I'm just throwing a number. I can actually look up the number if you really want me to, guys, and really let this hit home. But if there's 9 million interactions between the police and the public, and 1% of the white public is being killed, but 10% of the black, the numbers are skewed because there's more white people getting the cops called on every day than there is blacks. So of course there's going to be a higher uptick. The police is the issue in this country, and we can't fix that when we have somebody trying to steal the White House with us right now. But at the same time, we can fix that because the dragging on Twitter seems to be working sometimes. I say sometimes because sometimes you fuckers blow my mind, and I just don't understand it. And until I understand that, we're gonna stay in the same stuck ass place, running full force in quicksand. So, with that being said, I will say thank you both for being here. It was very enlightening. I hope that somebody sends this to Twitch so you can get me in trouble. Wait, I know that's gonna happen. And understand this, Twitch, I love you as a platform, or I wouldn't have believed in you, and I wouldn't have done the things I've said. But you can do better by the people of color on this platform. And the first step is /ban space NIGGER. Because they can come into every black channel on the earth and spell it NIQQER. Remember, they're putting 2 Q's there, so they're crying while they're typing.
Yeah.
Yep. That being said, Vaughn, is there anything else you would like to say before we're done?
I just want to give a few shout outs. First of all, shout out to Moosh, Nettles, Jordan, Joss here as well. I want to thank you guys so much for being here with me throughout the past couple of years, bringing Black Gamers Revolution to life from the ground up and everything. We just, we all came from Tumblr, and all of a sudden, we're here now. We
Mm-hmm.
actually have a circle of, you know, streamers, gamers, content creators that understand how we feel, and we can just let our shoulders just, descend and just take a deep sigh, because we're in a good spot. Um, Also, shout out to Dead, Dip, Jermaine, Cammy, the Ultramarine chapter, y'all already know. And I also want to thank Black Gamers Revolution as a whole for, you know, personally for giving me a voice. I finally can, say things and defend people without any fear. And I was afraid to do that. And I was always like on social media, just, keeping to myself and everything. But ever since, Joss, I, and several of the others found Black Gamers Revolution, I built that voice. And now my voice is loud as hell. And I'm unapologetic about it since then. And I have to thank you guys for that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Wooly, do you have anything you would like to shout out for once? No? Okay. No, I'm joking.
I knew that was gonna happen. You set me up.
I'm just fucking with you. Do you have anything you'd like to shout out?
For the sake of
No. I'm being serious with Wooly. You're gonna be the last voice this podcast here, so you get to say goodbye to the viewers and everything, Miss Joss. Wooly, is there
pressure.
anything you would like to say?
No, I think I'm good.
I will say this. And be proud of it. I'm going to let somebody else kick us off the air and say goodbye to you guys. All I can say is to white, black, Latino, any race, any religion, any sexuality, any sex, any gender, be fucking better.
Yeah. Be a better person.
And Miss Josh, the floor is yours until the end.
For the sake of not sounding too redundant of what Vaughn said, all of which you said, Vaughn, thank you everybody else who has helped build and found BGR, not only BGR, but same up for Rise Up Gaming. Thank you for taking the initiative to try to make things safer, better for all those groups that do, for all those people that have a similar dream. And I hate that it's even called a dream, but the internet is a dark place. So for all of us that strive to try to make it better, to try to make it less toxic, to try to make it happier, more comfortable for everybody. So um, all I know is I've met glorious people through Twitter. Twitch itself has a lot of work to do. I do overall enjoy the platform. I do want to say that, otherwise I wouldn't be there. I've met a lot of great people. I do think that they just need to care more. They need to care more about their POC, or at least, and this is gonna sound terrible, pretend to care, but they don't even do that. like at least fool me. Fool
Yeah.
me into thinking that you're trying, that you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna work on it, but I that's like I expect nothing less from that type of platform. Their bread and butter was people like Ninja and that group. It's just like it is what it is. But with all that being said, like I think that positivity and not being racist or bigoted or prejudiced or anything is what we need more of, especially on the internet, especially in POC gaming spaces, and in general. So if we can get more of that, then I'll be a happy camper. Is there a certain way that I should say goodbye aside from this has been great?
Whatever comes to your heart.
Okay, well, this has been a wonderful podcast. Thank you for having me and Vaughn here. I've had a
Yes.
glorious time. I'm sure he has as well. For all the listeners out there, I hope y'all have been thoroughly entertained.
You're
And with that being said, I hope y'all have a wonderful night.